Hello everyone, I'm Simon Boxall in for Donna Bush with your Cayman Islands Government Television News Brief on this Friday. Thanks for being here. The Ministry of Education is pleased to introduce the local TVET grant, a groundbreaking initiative designed to equip Caymanians who have already completed their compulsory education with the essential skills and training they need to succeed in the dynamic field of technical, vocational, education and training, otherwise known as TVET. The scholarship offers up to 15,000 CI annually for students to attend reputable technical and vocational institutions. To learn more and apply, visit gov.ky/education. The Ministry of Tourism and Ports is pleased to have provided sponsorship to Caymanian bodybuilder and the 2023 Mr. America title holder, Robert Thompson Jr., as he travels abroad to compete in several international bodybuilding events. Mr. Thompson Jr. is scheduled to compete at the Drug-Free Athletics Coalition World Finals Bodybuilding Competition in Australia on the 12th of November. He will then travel to Seattle, Washington for the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation Amateur and Pro World Championships on the 18th and 19th of November. As part of the scholarship, Mr. Thompson will act as a tourism ambassador for the Cayman Islands. His upcoming travel to Australia will present a unique opportunity to promote the Cayman Airways direct service from Los Angeles, which provides an easy and convenient way for travelers from Australia and Asia to access the Cayman Islands. Commenting on the scholarship, Honourable Kenneth Bryan, Minister for Tourism and Ports, had this to say.
He's doing such an amazing job, and when he excels the way he has done with international title holdings, it brings attention to the Cayman Islands. And what we do here in the Ministry of Tourism is bring attention to the Cayman Islands as a vacation opportunity. So it's a natural partnership with the Ministry of Tourism to walk with him on his journey to success and exposure, particularly with his upcoming events in Australia, which coincides with our journey over to Los Angeles and get into the Oceania continent, trying to get visitors from that area. So we decided to partner with him for the next 6 months while he continues to be successful. And we're very, very proud of him, not only in the Ministry of Tourism, but the Ministry of Sports and the Ministry of Health, because he represents all three of those areas. So we think that him carrying the Cayman brand, not only of our coat of arms, but to tell the story of this beautiful country that we have, and get visitors to come on down. So it's a relationship that works well together while people are paying attention to him. He says, while you're looking at me, here's the story of the beautiful Cayman Islands.
I'm a big influencer when it comes to the youth in Cayman, especially when it comes to bodybuilding and being an inspiration towards them. I would just tell them to take it slow. Don't rush into getting into all the other side effect stuff of bodybuilding itself, and start from the basics up.
The Cayman Islands National Museum is doing its part to protect traditional Caymanian arts. The museum held a special thatch rope-making workshop last Saturday at the newly opened Intergenerational Hub. Interim Museum Director Tunisia Barnes shared details on the workshop and why the museum has chosen to host these events.
Hi, my name is Tunisia Barnes. I'm the Interim Director at the Cayman Islands National Museum.
Talk to me about what's happening here today. What are we doing?
So today, part of our outreach program, and also in an effort to keep traditional crafts alive, is that we host monthly workshops. This month we're actually doing one on traditional rope making, and we have Mr. Gerald Rankin from East End who will be the facilitator for today's session.
I get up in the morning time, it's just one full leg before I go to school. Yeah. Then I come back from school, got just another leg.
So how long you were doing that, twisting that before you went to school?
Oh, great.
Mr. Gerald Rankin is known as one of the Cayman's best rope makers, and he passed on memories of his childhood and the role thatch played for him. For information on similar events, visit museum.ky. The Department of Environmental Health is reminding residents that this year's bulk waste collection already took place earlier in May, replacing the traditional November schedule. Persons wishing to dispose of any bulk waste are required to make alternative arrangements to transport these materials to the Georgetown landfill or the landfill sites operating in the sister islands. Richard Sims, director of the Department of Environmental Health, explained that, quote, any bulk waste placed on the curbside and/or empty lots will be considered illegal dumping or littering and should be reported. The shifting of the annual collection of bulk waste from November to May ahead of the hurricane season was largely advertised and successfully completed in an effort to reduce the amount of debris that could be generated by any form of severe weather, end quote. Any illegal dumping and littering should be reported to the DEH or the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, and this can result in a penalty of 6 months of prison and a minimum fine of $500. The public's reminded that the Georgetown landfill operates from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and until 1 p.m. on Saturdays and is closed on Sundays. Turning now to our local forecast. Tonight we can expect partly cloudy skies with a 60% chance of showers and possible thunder. Showers may be locally heavy at times, leading to flooding of low-lying areas. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Winds will be northeast at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts. Seas will be rough with wave heights at 4 to 6 feet. Small craft are advised to exercise caution over open waters. A reminder that you can get the latest on local weather conditions online at weather.gov.ky. Also check out the National Weather Service's Facebook page. And that ends today's news brief here on Cayman Islands Government Television. I'm Simon Vauxhall in for Donna Bush, wishing you all a very good weekend.
I'm Jody Ann Powery. I'm the Police Media Officer with the RCIPS, and I'm here to give you some crime prevention tips on how to best protect your property. The first thing that we want to discuss is our points of entries. Let's start with the front door, and then we'll move on to the windows and the back doors or sliding glass doors. The first thing to consider is the front door. This particular front door has 2 deadbolt locks. One of these deadbolt locks are properly carpentered and the other is not. When your door is properly locked, you'll hear a click at the end and the deadbolts are not able to move. If it is slightly opened, then you can push the deadbolt back without having any restrictions. I'll now proceed to show you what your lock should look like when it is properly locked. When it comes to your windows, you want to make sure that your window is locked all the way down, because even though the lock is on, if it's not all the way down, it can still be pried. The proper way to lock the window is to make sure that the window goes all the way down to the seal and then you pull across the lock. When you have a sliding glass door at home, you want to make sure that you have secondary locking devices in addition to the lock that comes with the door. One of those can be a simple piece of wood that's jamming the doorway. We want to encourage you to ensure that you don't make things easy for burglars who are looking for opportunities to break into property by leaving your property out in plain view. Some of these items are your car keys, your electronics, and your handbags. Make sure that you put these properties away when you're leaving the house or when you're going to bed. When you're going camping or if you're taking your family on a trip, you want to ensure that your property has some sign of life. This can be done by leaving a light on or putting timers on your lights. And we want to ensure that our family homes are safe. In order to do so, we encourage that people take the proper precautions by starting up neighborhood watches or encouraging family members or persons they trust to check on their properties while they're away.